Okay, shall we start again? Week 3, session 2. Yeah. For this session, we are still continuing our theme, worldview and culture, and how to translate our gospel into a particular culture, the people whom we serve. So, as I mentioned earlier, next week I'm going to deal with culture and religion. So until this week, we try to deepen our understanding about our culture. Yeah. So this is session 2. Okay. Can you see this slide? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I put a picture. These are my students in Yogyakarta. Yeah, these are our Christian sisters, and these are Muslim girls whom I met through Korean Culture Center in Yogyakarta. I ran a Korean Cultural Center because many of Indonesian students like K-pop, K-drama, K-beauty, so many things. So Korean contemporary culture is very popular among young Indonesians. So I once ran a Korean cultural center. So these students who came to my place to learn a Korean language. Then we often had conference and seminars, and then some event with Korean students. So just imagine, yeah, how will these girls read this girl's appearance? Yeah, because the way of style, hairstyle, and the clothes all are different. So these girls read this type of a style with their own lens. It means they have a value system. They have their preference and then their interpretation about this type of, cloth covering head. Moreover, when Korean girls, university students, came to my place, and then when they meet Muslim girls first time, Muslim girls wearing hijab, and then this kind of clothes wearing. These Korean girls were so, shocked and then had a certain interpretation about this kind of, appearance. First question Korean students asked Muslim girls is, don't you feel warm, hot, yeah? Because you cover all your head, yeah. Then the answer from these girls are quite different from what Korean girls think or expect. Yeah. So all things are, depending on their own lens. Yeah. They have their own lens means they have their own interpretation about something. So when we transfer or share the gospel through preaching or whatever, it means we think we transfer something we know, but through this process, it is interpreted by their lens. Why? What happened? Such things happen. The culture they are situated in is working in that way. Yeah. Yeah. So from mapping to engagement. Yeah. In the last session, I shared about Indonesia as multi-ethnic society and cultural diversity. Yeah? And then Islam is the dominant religion in Indonesia, but I already explained that it depends on, regions and provinces. And then although all they say they are Muslims, but there is their own particular adat, yeah, tradition, customs, and tradition laws. This is Indonesia. Maybe it's the same to you. Yeah, in India, Balinese into contrast collectivism as a structural premise, And the Yogyakarta, that was my field, yeah. I shared about my experience a bit. So session 2, our question is, where does the gospel collide with those worldviews? And what does faithful, non-distorting translation look like, a practice? A map is only useful when you move from reading it to navigating with it. Yeah? So please keep this sentence in your mind. Yeah? Session 1 about worldview structure and its compositions. It gives you the map how to analyze when you meet the person who has a different worldview. Yeah, but the person does not say I have this kind of worldview. Yeah, so we need to observe and talk. By doing so, yeah, we could understand more deeply what is behind what is seen and what he talks. Yeah. So session 2 is the navigation, where the gospel finds its deepest points of contact and where it arrives as genuinely strange news. Yeah, yeah. These three cases today are here: collectivism and K-pop worldview and blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay, page 3. Yeah. For instance, this is very simple, sentence, what Christianity usually mentioned. You are the sinner. Yeah. How that message lands. Yeah, land. What about guilt? Yeah, guilt in each culture. For Koreans, for Indians, for Americans, for Indonesians. Does it have a same meaning, yeah, to all these people? I don't think so, yeah. So guilt innocent framework means wrongdoing, yeah, violation of law before a judge, yeah, blah, 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 yeah, these kind of things. But in Indonesia, where I served, yes, they have a guilt feeling and values, but it is strongly linked to shame culture, shame and honor, and plus adat framework. We really need to understand. Yeah? So in moral grammar, wrongdoing for them is a rupture of community belonging, lose of a faith. It is really working. Yeah? So in other words, in Indonesian words, they call it malu. Malu is in English is a shame. Yeah. Shame. What does it mean for them? Yeah, individuals. It's quite different from what Koreans feel. Yeah. For Indonesians, it is relational, public, and communal. Although it happens to an individual, it works in this kind of relations, yeah, in a cultural web, yeah. Okay, your sinner lands as a certain dignity, yeah. So when Koreans feel that you are a sinner, when they heard about it, it probably something different ways, yeah, compared to Indonesians. Sinner means for Korean, it's a very personal and individual. But in Indonesian, it works in different ways. Yeah. It could be kind of assertion, assert. Yeah. Not only for Indonesian Christians, yeah, Indonesian Muslims. So you sometimes you see a religious conflict, yeah, between two religion. Yeah. It's not about him, but why this group, yeah, Muslims, are so aggressive in response, yeah, to social issues and matters from linked to other religion. Yeah, it's not about him, but something worked. Yeah. So last time, do you still remember I shown Kim Yona, our figure skating, yeah, Olympic medalist. Yeah, she is not my relative. But when she won a gold medal in Olympic, yeah, uh, why am I so touched? Yeah, so we could see there is an invisible link between her and me, yeah? Because I'm a Korean. It is working among Muslims also, yeah. They do not know each other, but they say they belong to Ummah, one Muslim. So what Americans do, yeah, in the state affect on the Muslims. What is happening in Lebanon or Palestine, yeah, it affect on the Indonesian Muslims. There is a cultural link. Yeah. Okay, let's see next one. Let's move. Yeah. So collectivism and conversion, we need to consider, yeah, this how these two concepts are linked together, yeah. For Indonesian, especially Muslims, it's about the family decision, yeah. New believer attend faithfully. Yeah, she is growing, but she says nothing to her family about her faith. Is this weakness or wisdom? Yeah, we need to observe, yeah, prove, yeah, and then we apply after we understand her situation and cultural, links. Yeah, then how what are the value systems among them? Yeah. So in a collectivist adat-shaped world, yeah, conversion is not a private transaction with God. Yeah. That, this is what I emphasize. Yeah. For Koreans nowadays, conversion is a very individual, matter. Yeah. But 20 years ago, 30 years ago, Korea was like other countries in Asia. Yeah. It was a family matter. Yeah. So, but today, our society is slowly changing. Then I believe Indonesia and other countries are also, going in the same way, slowly, gradually, but we could see a changing. Uh, we we know that religion is uh, in some cases in a particular period, religion is rising, not decreasing, but it also deeply connected with political situation. So sometimes religion could could be decreased, yeah, losing influence. But sometimes, even today, with the modernization, even globalization effect on them, but religion could be, be getting stronger and stronger in the Middle East, even in Indonesia, in Aceh, yeah, because it always, working, in response in response to the outside changings. Yeah, not just affected. Yeah, it is affecting. Yeah, vice versa. Uh, why collectivism exists and why Korea changed it? Yeah. Indonesia, there is a gotong royong. Yeah. Still, it is working, but not in Jakarta, the mega city. Yeah. Or Yogyakarta. Yogyakarta is a little bit different because there is the people, yeah, residents are very still following traditional ways. But as I mentioned in the last session, um, Yogyakarta is a city of students. Students are from all over the Indonesia. So the city's atmosphere is quite different from compared to other cities in Indonesia. But still exists, yeah. What I want to introduce is gotong royong, yeah. So I wrote just some cases compared to Korea. When there's a fire, house, your house or village, uh, what would you do? Yeah, when your house got fired. In Indonesia, villages show up. The neighbors, all peoples coming out together and then help. Yeah. But in Korea, what happened? Yeah, we live in the same apartment, but when there is a fire, we just call, yeah, 119 in Korea. When you get sick, yeah, in Indonesia, who 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 cares you? That is family and neighbors provided daily care. What about in Korea? Well, we call ambulance 119, In 5 minutes, 10 minutes, ambulance arrives, yeah. And then take me to the hospital. It's free of charge, you know. So not my family, so relatives. So I could solve many of the issues by myself. But in countries like Indonesia, still need neighbors. Yeah. So this kind of situation, atmosphere, regionally different way of life. You cannot afford to offend your community because you need neighbors. Yeah. Relational harmony is a survivor in Indonesia. That means high context communication develops as wisdom, not weakness. But what about in Korea? You do not need your neighbor to survive. If you have some issues with your neighbors, in Korea, we directly face to the issue and the person. We knock the door and then we just deliver what is wrong and then our complaining. Direct speech becomes normal, yeah, in Korea because there is low context. And then I don't need you, and you don't need me. We don't need to bother each other. Yeah. We can solve our problems individually. So low context communication very strong, yeah, in Korea. So this is a social implication for Korean missionaries. Korean missionaries often carry a low context. They do not recognize it. Individual decision evangelism model into high context. For instance, yeah, when I moved to Indonesia, it happened. Survivor interdependent communities. Yeah. The method was shaped by infrastructure, and the infrastructure is different. Yeah. So I need a very long time to understand how, why Indonesians behave in that way. Once I witnessed that our Indonesian neighbors, between them, there was a conflict. But this person never complained directly, yeah. Very indirect way. So I was so surprised. Yeah. Uh, why didn't she just speak it out and then to correct and then so that the other neighbors understand and then they corrected their behavior or the issues. Yeah. But they never do that in that way. Yeah. But that happens in my community I serve. Yeah. Okay, let's move. Yeah. Yeah, I prepared the one picture. This is an apartment in Seoul City. Yeah. You see the tall buildings, we call it apartment. In other countries, sometimes, condominiums or apartment. Yeah. But apartment means just very normal and general, the house style in Korea. Most of the Koreans nowadays want to live in an apartment like this. But you see all the same style and structure. Yeah. And then very, very expensive. Yeah. So just imagine, yeah, people live in this kind of, the building, yeah, system. What is their life like? Yeah? In a packed, space, and then, very tall building, yeah, using elevator. Each unit has a, same structure, although interior might be different, yeah. And then we also see that some district is very, place many people want to live there, yet kind of district it is distinguished from other districts. Yeah. Many people prefer to live such places. So it it distinguishes area with other, apartment areas. Who live A apartment, who live B apartment. It happens among, uh, young children, in a school. This child live in this apartment B. Then uh, how big is the size? Yeah, the small or middle or bigger one. And then this child in the same class live in this apartment, more, premium apartment. Um, it happens among even children in same class in a school. They differentiate oneself from others. Depends on what name of apartment they live. Yeah. So this is very serious issues in Korea. And then the other scene is the another type of living condition in Seoul. So small three to five stories building. Yeah, this type of the building. Yeah, house. And then you see apartment here. Yeah. Just imagine. Yeah. For instance, this is a school. And then children live here, also come to this school, and the children, this area also come to this school. Just imagine what will happen. This is cheaper compared to apartment. So it's not just about where they live. Yeah, where they live decide how they behave and how they treat others. Very serious matters. And then just imagine, yeah, this is a church, Korean church here. Who will be the congregation of this church? Just imagine, yeah. Do you think people who live in this apartment will join this church? I don't think so. If there is a church, yeah, around this area, these people live in this area can go to this church and then, do their, Christian life, community life here. Yeah, it could happen. Yeah. But now we could see that such environment or, living standard also decide where and where people live, yeah, and how to relate with others. So 50 years ago, this kind of things didn't exist in Korean society. That's why Korea is called apartment republic. Yeah, the evolution of Korean urban living. Yeah, with modernization, and then more people come to a city. Yeah? It happens. 1960s and until 80s, the rise of the high rise. Yeah. The Mapo, this is one of the districts in Seoul City. Yeah. Start from 70s in Seoul City apartment appears. And then not just a normal apartment, general apartment. There were some, premium apartment, yeah, alongside the Hangang River. Yeah, it becomes a symbol of elite status. So this kind of house, it makes differences in social cultural status, yeah, in Korea. This is the simple structure of apartment. Here is the note that moving the kitchen to main floor symbolized rising gender equality. You understand, yeah? So environment and living structure also, change the way of our gender role. Yeah? And toilet also, is placed in the house. Yeah. And then the other way, apartment is a kind of matchbox, same uniformity, no diversity. Mass production, yeah, prioritized efficiency and some lights of aesthetic diversity. So our living environment has been changed with apartment. Yeah. And then not all the apartments, yeah, all the apartments are not same, there is a more, brand high, expensive, apartment. This, the middle size and yeah, middle price apartment, and then just for the people who are not so affordable yet to buy the kind of luxury apartment. Yeah. So it become an island. Do you still remember last time I shared a new term, neo-ethnicity? So this kind of living environment and fragmentation of, society, especially in Korea, that is apartment, it makes the island by itself. So they share same identity and ethnicity, although they are Christian. I mean Koreans. Yeah. So modern complexes, yeah, are socially closed, characterized by gated entrance, anonymity, and lack of interaction. So the children who do not live in this apartment, not legally, but the people say, not allowed to live in this playground. Yeah, it happens. It's the big issue. Later, you just do a simple research about apartment culture in Korea. You could see so many issues. So what is social media in 1960s? Yeah, apartment is just a tool, mass housing supply because the lands are so limited. It's a symbol of modernization and westernization at that time. But when it comes to 1980s, middle class expansion with the Korean society economic growth is very rapid. Yeah. And then it became an achievement of social status. So our family bought an apartment. Wow, wow. The parents were very hardworking, not rich, but very hardworking, and then they could finally, after 20 years, yeah, they could buy an apartment, not a luxurious one. But we are in millennium, yeah, 2000, because of more people come to Seoul City, and then the real estate becomes become very expensive. Now it changed it. It's not just a house for a family. It become an investment, real estate investment. So it becomes a symbol of wealth, And then which apartment do you live? Yeah, inequality. Not the same. Yeah, this apartment, that apartment, not the same. it shows inequality. And speculation are said. Yeah. Oh, the parents bought an apartment and then it goes to their children. Children becomes richer without, hard working. Yeah. It is happening in Korea. Okay, so this is a difference, yeah, between Korea and Indonesia. In Indonesia, still exists, yeah, this one, gotong royong, I already explained a bit. And then in Indonesia, this one, RT, RW, RT, RW. Yeah, what does it mean? Yeah, RT is R means rukun. Rukun means harmony. Yeah? W means wilaya. So the RT is the head of the the compound, yeah, compound of houses, neighbors, maybe 10 to 20 houses gathered together, and then by the government it became one RT. RW means three or four RT combined together. Yeah. So one of the neighbor becomes RT, yeah? Kind of leader in that area. So they once a month they have a kind of meeting regularly, yeah? And then discuss and then share about the matters among them, and then in that districts. And then when the government, send us kind of information to promote something, yeah. RT also, participated in the government actions. Yeah. So this one, let me just repeat again. House on fire, yeah. The village show up. Neighbors, relatives, community members, and your ethnicity, yeah, also in rural areas. No one calls the government agency first. The community is the first responder. Yeah. That is gotong royong in action. Then I explained that what will happen in Korea. Just call 119, yeah. And RT, RA system, yeah, rukun tetangga, yeah, means, yeah, this one, RA, yeah. RW, yeah. Neighborhood units that manage local mutual aid, dispute resolution, and community decisions together. So for them, the harmony is a very important value. They have to keep it. Yeah. In Korea, no. In apartment, sometimes, yeah, the structure is the two houses are, the facing each other, just 3 or 4 meters away. And then elevator is here. And morning, afternoon, all day, the people comes out and they never, some, yeah, not all, all Korean people like that, but many of Korean peoples do not care about their neighbors. Just 3 or 4 meters away, just the front gate and the front two front gates are facing each other, but they do not sometimes they do not greet each other. Yeah, why? Without this neighbor, they can survive. No problem at all. Yeah, result. Community goodwill is survival infrastructure. You cannot afford to rupture relationships. Indirect speech, harmony maintenance, and collective decision-making are rational, not merely traditional. So we can see how this kind of environment shapes people's way of life, even value systems. This is culture, yeah. Yeah, where do we get fragmentation from the inside, yeah? This, I introduced my field research case. So I shared about K-pop cover dance team, yeah, this culture among Muslim young students, yeah, in Indonesia. So these women were practicing in dance cover teams, copying K-pop choreography, filming music videos, performing publicly. That is the point, yeah. In clothing that exposed the skin in ways that violated Islamic modest norms. They are Muslims, so if you are Muslim imam, yeah, how will you respond to this young man, yeah, this youth? And then what these girls say about their activity, K-pop dance cover participants, what they say, they refuse to frame their participation as religious transgression. This is very important. Yeah? For them, their K-pop cover dance activity means it's a kind of self-realization. In other words, self-actualization. Yeah? Participation in a global cultural world because they are young men. Yeah? Although they are Muslims, Muslims still want to engage, yeah? Want to be engaged in global culture. It's not, it's not leaving their Islamic norms and belief. It's a kind of engagement, yeah? to to mingle with global culture. Not not because they do not like their traditional culture or religious, the way of life. So they say this is not the kind of secularization, not rejection of Islam, yeah, a selective individual expression of religiosity. They are exercising personal agency over their religious identity. In terms of religious norms, because of their the hairstyle and their appearance, I mean their clothes, it seems to violate to on about the Islamic norms. Yes, they admit it, but it does not mean they disregard Islam. It's a it's just a kind of simple change according to their time and space. So when they show up in the stage, this stage is for Korean K-pop dance. So they change their clothes, their style, right, with makeup for a short time. Yeah. When they finished and then come down from the stage, they change it again, yeah, and then back to Islamic, clothes and the way of life. So the change is just for a certain time and place. This is what they are saying. And then the other side, there is another movement I found during my research that is called Hijra K-pop campaign. Well, what does it mean, Hijra K-pop? If you know a bit more about Islam, Hijra is very important term, yeah. What is Hijra K-pop, yeah? Former K-pop fans who experience the cultural shift and choose to strengthen their Islamic identity. Yeah. So once they were K-pop fans, K-pop, participate in K-pop cover dance, activities, but they realized, this is not for Muslims. As a Muslim, they realized they need to go back to their religion. So they put name Hijra. It's a kind of recover, restore, their faith. Yeah. So this is a kind of movement among ex-K-popers. So campaign distinguishes Islamic from non-Islamic culture. Yeah. Not rejection of a culture. They do not say K-pop culture is bad, it's a kind of a sin. Yeah? But they say Allah is more important. Allah must be the center of their life. It's a slightly different way of, the speaking. They do not say K-pop is a sin. Kafir, Korean culture is, kind of, related to sin or, Kafir culture. They do not say in that way. They say a renewed, deliberate religious identity, also an individual act, turning the same experience of globalization in the opposite direction, but through the same mechanism of personal religious choice. So when they speak about Hisra K-pop, they very cautiously, borrow all the terms that are used in K-pop or Korean culture for their promotion. Yeah, this is the picture. Yeah, this right side picture is Hisra K-pop movement who they talk about their experience about K-pop. Yeah, Oppa, you understand Oppa? Oppa is idol of K-pop group, male character. So this is Korean term, in Korean culture to call someone who is in brothers and sisters in a relation, to call elder brother. So today's idol groups, male actors, singers, they are called oppa. Oppa becomes a very international term, to those the K-pop fans. So they do, they do a movement, through YouTube. It's kind of YouTube, recording, to promote, his K-pop movement, So what they emphasize is, sharing their experience. Once they also fall in love with K-pop culture and K-pop oppa, but they realize, Islam is more important. Allah must be in the center of their life, not oppa. Oppa cannot be idol. And then their approach is very, a very kind way, to appeal to young people like them, So use K-pop words, K-beauty, K-pop words, oppa, 사랑해요, and then they admit that the many Indonesian girls are, uh, encouraged by K-pop stars, BTS, Blackpink, many other girl group, many other K-pop groups. They gave them very good values, So this is very interesting, point in my research. So two groups. The left side is still, still actively participating, as a K-pop fan, These are ex-K-popers. They still, they say they are still Muslims. They will not leave Islam, but they like international culture. And then K-pop is kind of means for them, to express and then to learn good values from Korean contemporary culture. All this audience, most of them are Muslim girls. And then this is very interesting. One of the teams in the competition, this girl, the member of K-pop cover dance, she wears a hijab. If you are a Muslim or imam, how will you read this girl's appearance? Wearing hijab, but still dancing on the stage with K-pop music. Although this group is, very, Islamic friendly. They covered all the bodies. These girls are not, but most of them are also Muslims. What makes it such a difference? Although these two teams are, a K-pop cover dance team. So we could read a small difference of their perception about keeping religious norms. But this group is in different ways. This is very interesting. Yeah, Indonesian Muslim is not a single worldview among, it's not about Indonesian Christians, Indonesian Muslims, Indonesian, Hinduists, yeah. Even in the same religion, yeah. So fragmentation, yeah. Both groups are exercising agency, not passivity, yeah. The K-pop dancers are not simply being swept into secularization. The Hisra K-pop participants are not simply reverting to tradition. Both are making active, chosen responses to the experience of globalization. Worldview is not a fixed box people are locked inside. It is an active framework they navigate. So I like this term, yeah, navigate, navigate. Second, the label Muslim contains multiple worldview words. Yeah. These two groups share a religious identity category, a nationality, a language. For instance, all they say they are Muslim. Yeah, no difference. All they are Indonesians. Yeah. Or they speak in Bahasa Indonesia. Most of them are university students. Yeah. But yeah, their operative worldview frameworks, yeah, how they answer purpose, morality, and what the self owes to the community are genuinely different. Yeah? Guilt insights about the Japanese village applies here too. Yeah? Third, secularization in Indonesia is not linear and not Western. This is a very important point. Yeah? Even in India, I think. Yeah? Do not assume the trajectory of religious change here mirrors what happened in Europe. In Europe, it was a Christian, culture and Christian countries, but nowadays totally different. Yeah. For them, secularization means many people leave their religion, Christianity, and becomes uh, becomes what is the term? Yeah, atheist. Yeah. But yeah, Indonesian secularization is multi-directional. Some move forward greater individual expression, others toward stronger communal religious identity. So here we can we see resurgence of Islam. Yeah? Here, the other way of Islam. And young people among them, yeah, there are also fragmentations among them, yeah, this group and that group. Yeah. Often simultaneously within the same community. So these words become complex, even in one country, even in one ethnicity group. Yeah. And even in Korea, and even in a Korean church. So how to integrate, yeah, worldview diversity? Our purpose is not to make one worldview. We need to understand the diversity among our people. So this is the case of my ministry. We call it the Joy Fellowship. This is our meeting, a Friday meeting. Joy Fellowship was a Christian student community in Yogyakarta, made up of students from across the Indonesian archipelago, from Batak, yeah. Batak Protestant to animist background Torajan, from Japanese to Papuan. Yeah, I already explained. Yeah, the worldview premises for time, authority, community, and the spirit word were not the same, even among our Christian students in my ministry. So standard programming and theological contents were insufficient to hold this community together. So Hiebert inside here, you may read later. So what we really exercise to put some values in our community among people is to create values, yeah, values for sharing, yeah, in a type of written and practiced. More, yeah, if you visit some church, we see the values and their missions and their the values, yeah, in front of the stage, yeah, the sacrifice and loving each other, that kind of those things. These are the written form of their values. But more important is practice the value. That means you could feel and see, yeah, such values, not just to read. So in our community, the 7 community values were not just stated, they were structured into repeated practices, yeah. Training programs, share sessions, cell groups, ministry team roles. So if there is a newcomer, once he or she attended our meeting, immediately he or she could feel and sense and experience what values are working among our students. Yeah. Not because they say that this is our values of community as a Christian. They do not say in that way. Their way of, greeting each other, the way of speaking, punctuality, through in many other activities, the behaviors, newcomers always feel something. And then they got a good impression about our community. It makes them come again next week. That means felt experience, not just knowledge. This is our problem in Korean churches. Many of the people do not see any difference. Church people and ordinary people, yeah, out of church. Yeah. So values became integrating when members felt them, not just knew them. Yeah? The affective dimensions was the bridge across worldview difference, responsibility and belonging. Yeah? This is very important. Okay, later you could read. Yeah, let's move. Okay, gospel translation, Cornell and Husky. This is from Paul Hiebert. The kernel of the gospel, the salvific content, the person and work of Christ, the invitation to repentance and faith, is non-negotiable and unchanging. But the husk, the cultural, linguistic, metaphorical form in which the kernel is carried, must pass through the culture. So this is the table to illustrate about these things, yeah, very important. So craft warning, yes, split, not spirit, split rebel Christianity. This is a serious issue in Korean church today. If the gospel is only communicated at the cognitive level, so that's what I'm saying, Bible study, discipleship making program, even worship services, and then sermons. Korean churches' sermons are very important here. Changing stated beliefs without engaging the effective and evaluative worldviews layer, the result is nominal Christianity layered over an unchanged operative worldview. Yeah. The old worldview survives beneath the new confession. So what about your people, your ministry? Yeah. So week 3, we covered that worldview as content. The Indonesia Islam assumption fails in the field. Yeah. 4 worldviews questions is analytical grid. Islamic and Hindu worldview mapped. Yeah. Collectivism as survival structure, not cultural preference. So Yogyakarta, this is my, sorry. Okay, hold on, please. Sorry, there was a call. We are going to finish. Yeah. So for this week, two questions to carry. First one, when you preach or teach in your ministry context, which worldview, moral grammar are you assuming or assuming your listeners are operating from? Yeah, guilt, innocence, shame, honor, or adat relational. Have you ever asked, or do you simply assume they share your framework? Yeah? Second question, inside your congregation or community, which worldview words are actively present? Are you designing for one worldview that only some people inhabit and missing others entirely? What would it take to find out? Yeah, these are the two questions for session 2. Yeah. Okay. Next week we will talk about the culture and religion and culture and language. Yeah. Okay. And then okay, let me show you so one thing. Yeah. Okay. Hold on, please. Yep. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh, this is just only for your reference. Each week, I'll give you a small lecture note, this one, reference guide. So in the reference guide, I put there is a recap, this one, so that you could see, you could recap what we have studied last week, and then the lecture slide will be shared. You could see the link in this document. So later, I will share this reference guide with the slide link, so you just refer it. And then there is my email address. So if you have any questions or any inquiry, just let me know through sending by email. Okay? Thank you very much. See you next week.